What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube and Rumble subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers? It's Kush back at it again with another New York Giants update video. Well, in this one we got a couple of a pair of stories. I was about to say a couple of news, but that doesn't make any sense. A pair of stories makes much more sense. That came out around yesterday night. I was on stream with Fist Vegas over on Fist Vegas Blue. I put up a clip of it late last night. If you guys haven't already checked it out, definitely do so. It's a little bit on Trayvon Walker, and then of course the link to the full podcast I was on is there /stream. Now, the two things that happened last night: one, Riley Dixon was cut from the New York Giants. Two, Sterling Shepard reworked his contract with the New York Giants. I actually think it was in reverse order, but I said it in terms of order of importance from least to most important because no disrespect to Riley Dixon. First and foremost, I want to thank him for his time here with the Giants. I want to thank you for the job he's done. I honestly think he was a little bit underrated, and he did have an inconsistent last couple of years with us, but for the most part he was a good punter in my opinion. It's just that for what he was being paid at his position and also the inconsistencies, he was somebody that was definitely going to be cut in Joe Schoen's path to making this $40 million of free space come up. And then in a surprising move, the Sterling Shepard restructure is not something that came out of nowhere, because I want to say for about a week or two now there has been rumors saying that the Giants are possibly working on a massive restructure to his contract, which would keep him with the team, obviously, instead of us having to cut him. Because Sterling Shepard, there's a couple factors here that led to him being thought of as somebody that also would have been like a for sure thing that the Giants would cut right away. The injury, the Achilles injury he's coming off of, first of all, probably being the biggest one. He still hasn't even recovered from that. You put that, of course, in context that his entire career, unfortunately, Sterling Shepard has been really injured with the Giants, which is a really bad situation because he's a really good slot receiver and route runner in general. I think when healthy, he has the potential to be one of the best in the league. It's just that he is not always healthy. There's something that's happening. There's some nicks that are happening, whether it's an injury like the Achilles, which is something major. He's had concussion issues in the past, even all the way back to his rookie year. He's had concussion issues, and it's just a matter of the injuries have gotten to a point where it's really knocked his value as a receiver and also the value of his contract, which is why, once again, he was going to be one of those guys to be a great candidate. But what an amazing restructure by the Giants. So let's get into that first, because since last night, the announcement of it, to today, there's a couple estimates of exactly where that restructure lies. So I got a couple tweets from Jordan Renan here that I'm going to read out to y'all. Also a article from NJ.com as well. So Jordan Renan says Sterling Shepard's new deal has a max value of $5.25 million. He was scheduled to make around $8.5 million, so he could go back, so he can make back a good chunk of that with a strong season. Now, of course, strong season and making back a good chunk of that, along with the max value, suggests that this is a very incentive-laced and incentive-based contract, which is a good thing. Usually incentives don't really count that much against the cap. It's like bonuses or something like that. I'm no cap master. So what I look at it is it's a max value of it, which probably means in terms of guaranteed money, hey, maybe it's somewhere around $2 or $3 million. I know that seems crazy, but going from being a cap hit of around 8.25 to 2 or 3 million, that's a win. Especially considering this next tweet here, he says guesstimating, but the Giants probably save somewhere in the range of $6 million in cap space with the move, assuming it has a voidable year and $4 million in dead cap for 2023. And then just one quick more tweet from Jordan. He says this is in response to a tweet that says this goes against the philosophy of Joe Schoen shared earlier of moving dead money into future years. He says not really, that money was already there for 2023. So if that's what they did, he's not moving money into future years. The Giants had $8 million in dead money if they cut Shepard, a mess. That's why it made sense to keep him. And I guess that's where I want to touch base here. If this guesstimate is right, and it is just a guesstimate as of right now, of course, then this is a win situation. Even if Sterling Shepard ends up getting injured, I'm not calling for it, knock on wood, jinx, because the guy is the longest tenured Giant right now. He's somebody that I love and somebody that a lot of Giants fans love, and I want to see him succeed. But in the unfortunate event that, let's say he gets injured again, it's still a win-win situation because of the fact that we either save just as much money as we would if we cut him, or B, even more money than we cut him. And that is not even considering the fact that we don't have to pay any dead cap now because he's still on the team, right? So you save somewhere around $6 million and you don't got to pay any extra money. Win-win to me. This is kind of an ingenious move here by the front office. I'm sure it was a combination of Shane, the head coach Brian Dable, and the guy who's still our cap guy as of right now in Kevin Abrams. Now, from the NJ.com article, this is what I have to read to you guys. This was by Zach Rosenblatt, and this is what he says on it. The Giants are restructuring wide receiver Sterling Shepard's contract, giving him a pay cut so he can stick around for a 7th season rather than getting released into free agency coming off an Achilles injury. Shepard was originally due to a $12.49 million cap hit in 2022, which included a $8.475 million base salary and around the $4.02 million in bonuses. Per ESPN, Shepard's restructure has a max value of $5.25 million in 2022 and removes the year he had remaining on his contract in 2023, which should save the Giants around the same amount of money they would have had to just simply cut him. That max value, in quotes, has to do with bonuses likely added to the contract tied to Shepard's availability and performance. As for the Giants' cap situation, prior to Shepard's restructuring the Dixon release, they were at $7.6 million over the cap. If the Giants save $4.5 million on Shepard's new contract, plus the $2.8 million from cutting Dixon, that would clear approximately $7.3 million in cap space. And some reporting has indicated that Shepard's restructure could save anywhere from $5 to $6 million, which would get the Giants under the cap. Now, I want to stop right there because that's kind of the next point or next talking point of this video. We still need to get to that $40 million total cap space cleared. And of course, we still need to get under the cap space before the league year begins. We are very close to getting under the cap space. So I think maybe one other move and we're going to be there and we're safe in NFL terms. Now, for Joe Schoen, depending on how serious he was and how much he meant to actually clear up around $40 million in cap space, we're obviously looking at 2 players right now. Well, actually 3. I'll throw in a 3rd guy here. It's going to be James Bradberry, it's going to be Blake Martinez, and it's going to be Saquon Barkley. Those are the 3 biggest contracts right now that you're talking about moving. I've already expressed why Leonard Williams wouldn't be realistic to move and Kenny Golladay wouldn't be realistic to move. So you're back at those 3. And what you're looking at is in an NFL where like 3 or 4 crazy trades just went down this week, you're trying to see, are the Giants actually having any suitors for any of these guys, right? Specifically James Bradberry, even though I love the guy and I want him to stay here. And you know what? If they could work out a miracle restructure with James Bradberry to keep him a New York Giant, I'm all for it. But if they can't, you're definitely looking at him being shipped off somewhere. Baltimore comes to mind. The Patriots for certain come to mind as well. And maybe there's a couple other teams that are not popping in right now, but there should be guys out there that are looking to get a James Bradberry on their team. Saquon Barkley, at least around the combine time, what was being reported as the Giants are looking for a 1st-round pick and teams are not willing to give up a 1st-round pick. Of course, that's what's being reported. We have no true way of knowing how truthful that is. And then in terms of Blake Martinez, he's coming off an injury as well. So you would assume that his value would be at an all-time low. And he is somebody I would definitely approach with that miracle restructure. Kind of like Shepard, we have the leverage a little bit, except in Blake's case, it's the first major injury of his career. So it's not like he's known to be an injury-prone player as Sterling Shepard was. So we'll see. But we still have a way to go to get to that $40 million total, and we still have to make at least one more move to get under the cap space. The league year is coming very, very soon. It's just next week. And I'm assuming a lot of things are going to be happening over the weekend. So keep your eyes open, guys. Keep your ears open as well. That's it for now. Put your thoughts down below, and I'm out. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thank you for checking out my channel, The Hub, here on Giants YouTube. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you hear every time I put out a video. Like it, share, and subscribe, and I'm out.